Have you been optimizing your website for voice search? Well, if you haven't, you're really going to get screwed because in the future, everybody is starting to use devices like Alexa, Amazon to perform voice searches. So watch this. Hey, it's Jim Parr, and I'm going to share with you how you can generate more traffic using voice searches. So the first tip that I'm going to give to you guys is to make sure your site is compatible with HTTPS framework. What does that mean? If a website is HTTPS, from what we found, it's much more likely to be searched on the search engines and generate traffic for voice searches. HTTPS is what they call a secure domain. So if you see that little lock, that means it's HTTPS. Or you can just look at the domain name and it's going to have the S instead of no S on the end. So that means it's secure and Google's going to find it. We've noticed that over 65% of the results for voice searches are from sites that are HTTPS. The second tip I have for you is to build authoritative domains. This is not going to happen overnight, so you're going to have to really work on this. You know, Forbes, Huntington Post, Business Insider, those are authority niches. So what we found is sites that have a lot of links, a lot of amazing content, social shares, good user experience overall, they are authority because they deserve to be. And the ones that are getting the lion's share of voice traffic are those sites. And if you yourself don't have an amazing site or an amazing experience and you don't feel you're an authority, that's okay. Just do something to fix it. Make your content better. Make your website design better. Outreach to people who link to your competitors and ask them for a link. Go above comes from above and beyond with your marketing to be a leader. And if you're not want to be one of those leaders, you're not going to have the traffic from voice searches. The next tip I have, need to make sure your website loads fast. That's the key thing. We use GT metrics to check sites to make sure they're precise, that they load fast. It needs to be precisely 4.6 seconds or faster. That's more than 50% faster than the average web page. So if websites load fast, you're likely to have more traffic from voice searches. If it loads slow, you're probably going to not get any traffic from that. So do you know how fast your website loads? Leave a comment below. I'll leave a link on how you can check that. And if you don't go to Google PageSpeed and put in your website, let us know what your score is, or go to GT Metrics and tell us how fast your website is. You need to check that. And lastly, you need to have some content. Content is everything. Here's what I mean by this. If you're going to go after voice searches similar to normal SEO, pages with over 2,200 words perform better than pages that have 500, 600, or 700 words. The more content you have, the more Google can index you for different terms. That means put in keywords in that content, and you can potentially get there. Within that content, you want to make sure you have quick, short answers. For example, if you rhyme writing an article that breaks down SEO and the whole beginner's guide to it, maybe you'll have a heading that is, what is SEO? Because people are going to voice search that. They're going to say, what is SEO to their Alexa? And Alexa's going to respond to them by going into Google and automatically searching within that 4.6 seconds. Then I can have one or two sentences that answers to what SEO is. That's an example of in-depth content. So if you use headings on the in-depth content and use short answers, because that's what makes it easier for Google to give people quick answers, that's how you get those voice searches. So if you follow all these tips, you'll be able to generate a lot more traffic through voice searches. I know it's not popular yet, but it is becoming more and more popular. Majority of your traffic still comes from regular searches, but eventually it's going to be a thing that everybody uses on a regular basis. I use it at my desktop to do different searches, and so it's going to be very popular. For small businesses, make sure you have things of how to fix an AC or how to shingle a roof or different things like that. Leave your comments below. I would love to answer any questions that you have about voice searches and how you rank on voice searches. Remember this, Google local listings come up on voice searches. Google ads come up on voice searches. So whatever you're doing in the internet space, make sure you've got those Google searches and that you're using those voice searches on a regular basis. Again, GT metrics, page speed from Google. Leave your comments below. Remember to subscribe. Click on that bell right up above, and you can see all my videos. I appreciate you watching. If you want to get into the digital marketing space, I have an entire course that's incredible. I coach you one-on-one online, and I would love to have you a part of that. There's a link below if you want to schedule a call, and I only take a few students every month under my wing because I'm very particular about success in this. Thanks again for watching. This is Jim Parr.